Yo, what's going on, guys? Jay here, and today gonna be bringing you guys through my September rotation. I did this in August, thought it would be fun to make this a cool little monthly thing, just go over what I've been listening to, keep you guys in tune, maybe give you some good recommendations. But I mean, for me, September has been mainly two things. It's been a lot of listening to and catching up on music that's came out this year. It's been a lot of R&B. R&B is back in rotation fully. It is fall, guys. Fuck, not the game, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's fall. It's R&B's in right now. But yeah, in terms of new music, like, not new that came out this past month. I mean new from 2023. A lot of it is from September, but some of it's also older that I'm just catching up on. Just some albums that I've been listening to, and it's a handful. But of course, we got Fear and Loathing in Long Island by King the Divine and Javi Darko. I've been talked about this album in my last few videos, so I don't want to, go too deep into it. This is just a must listen for me. Like, go do it. My favorite tracks off here that I've been bumping a lot: Ghost of Gilgo Beach, There's a Lady in the Woods, and Malibu Booze Binge. All have been on repeat for me. We also got Tizo's album, How Do You Sleep at Night. I didn't like that album, but I was listening to it a lot for the review. As well as Magic 3 by Nas, which I just recorded the review for that like 20 minutes ago. You'll see that one before this one, so I won't spoil my thoughts. We also got the Love album by Diddy, which, not good. I was originally planning on doing that album for a video review, but very quickly decided it was not worth it. The only really standout track here is Another One of Me with The Weeknd, 21 Savage, and French Montana. And French Montana gives one of his better feature verses ever. It's honestly not trash, and I listen to it when I listen to the song. 21 Savage does his thing. Not a crazy verse, but it's 21. It's enjoyable. But The Weeknd on this song, oh my god. Like, Diddy's been hyping up that this is The Weeknd's last feature, and if it is, this is one of his best for sure. His singing here is honestly better than it's ever sounded. His vocal range and the emotion he's conveying while he sings is honestly like, there's very few other The Weeknd tracks that match the quality of this one in those categories. At least I fucking love Another One of Me, one of the best songs of the month. We also got a Love Letter to You 5, which I reviewed. Songs like Took My Breath Away, Trip McKnight, main ones I'm revisiting there. Fine album. We had Scott's Son by Elian Ogons, also just dropped a review on that album. Go check it out. Scarlet by Doja Cat also came out this month. Review coming for that in the next week, so I'm not going to spoil too much here, but I will say tracks like Agora Hills, amazing. The last couple tracks on that album I'm forgetting the name of, but there were some good ones. Paint the Town Red we'll talk about later, and Wet Vagina, banger. I'm going to say it. I also listened to Texas Boy by Mike Dimes this month, and it was a solid album from him. You got tracks in there. Off the Porch with Maxo Cream and Big X The Plug is one of my favorite tracks here, the one I revisit the most. It's just a solid couple of Texas boys linked up, giving a fire track. I mean, Texas Boy overall wasn't anything too crazy, but solid album. It's a light 6 for me. We also got Guts by Olivia Rodrigo that dropped this month. Again, review coming next week for that album, maybe even this week, so I'm not going to spoil it too much. But Olivia Rodrigo as a whole has been in rotation heavy for me this month. Love her. Drumwork the Album was another project I checked out this month by Conway the Machine's Drumwork label, and this was a light 7, solid project. A track like Andre 3000, one of my favorites there. We also got Lord Sko's new album, United Palace, which again, review will be coming for that in a few weeks. Great tape so far. And finally, we got Summer's Mine by Babyface Ray. This dropped a couple months ago. There's the track with Westside Gun on there, of course. You got Let Tyler Flow, also a great track there. And Babyface Ray is a rapper I very much enjoy. This is a light 6 for me as well. In terms of some singles that are new, came out this past couple of months that I was bumping a lot. Of course, you got Sked by Denzel Curry and Kenny Mason. I was skeptical about that song at first. I wasn't a big fan of it, but the more I listened to it, it's just a pure energy track, and I love that about it. Kenny's feature is awesome. Denzel does his thing, and although it's not the most interesting or complex Denzel song we've ever gotten, it's still super fun. Paint the Town Red, like I said before, has honestly been on repeat for a while for me. I know it's a super popular song, super poppy, but it's so good, guys. Oh, she the devil, she a bad little bitch, she a rebel. We also got Slime You Out by Drake and SZA. Excellent song. I know Charlemagne said that Drake dropped a song and nobody cared. This went number one. I've been listening to this a bunch. Not my favorite SZA feature ever, to be honest, but she still did an amazing job here. And Drake was in his bag here. I really enjoyed his performances on the track. We also got Half Doing Dope by JID, Lil Yachty, and Babytron from the Black Boys EP by JID and Lil Yachty. And this was just another solid track, super soulful, boom bap type instrumental, and you just got Jid, Yachty, and Babytron all putting in work on their verses, just some lyrical exercise, solid track. And we also had A$AP Rocky release that I Smoked Away My Brain Demons mashup. I also really enjoyed that. I think the songs mesh together very well. And it's just Rocky in his cloud rap bag. Obviously, it's just like a mashup, but again, it works super well. I really enjoyed this song. Alright, I'm also going to talk about the albums that have been in rotation for me a lot this week, as well as just some other singles that weren't necessarily new in the past year, but that I've been bumping a lot. That was all the new 2023 stuff out of the way. Now we're going to take it back to, just all the other stuff in my rotation. But first, I want to talk about my top 10 most streamed artists of the month. At 10, we got a three-way tie between JID, Doja Cat, and Poya. Number 9, we got a tie between Benny the Butcher and Lil Uzi Vert. And at 8, we got a tie between Trippie Redd and Drake. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people like Trippie Redd, for example. He is up here because I reviewed his album this month. But now that we get the ties out of the way, we'll keep going. 7, we got Frank Ocean. 6, Tizo Touchdown. 5, A Boogie with the Hoodie. 4, Daniel Caesar. 3 is not technically a tie, but it's King the Divine and Javi Darko because it's been, their collab tape that I've been bumping hella. At number 2, we got Nas. And at number 1, Travis Scott. So no surprise there, guys. Utopia, I don't know about you guys, but Utopia has still been very prevalent in my music listening. Tracks like Meltdown, Fiend, Schizo, Modern Jam, Telekinesis, all are still super heavy in my listening. All the other tracks there as well, it's not like I don't listen to them. They are in the background as well. Those are just the main ones. An album like Never Enough by Daniel Caesar is another huge standout for me. I've listened to this album a handful of times this week. There's no bad tracks on this album. All right, Never Enough and also Blonde by Frank Ocean is the next album I'm talking about. These two are in very similar scenarios where pretty much the entirety of these albums are in my study schoolwork playlist. They're in my R&B playlist, and they're just in my main rotation playlist right now. At least half of the album for all of these, and I don't skip any tracks on these albums. So Blonde and Never Enough, two albums that are just two of my favorites right now, man. I can't lie. Me Versus Myself is another album that I've been streaming a lot. Not really the album. This is by A Boogie with the Hoodie, of course, his album from last year. It is not the album. It is the tracks like Last Time with G Herbo, Water Part 2 with Kodak, and The Man in the Mirror, which are all still heavy in my rotation from August. Those were a couple of tracks I mentioned as standouts from them. They're still going pretty strong here right now with some of my favorite songs. And then the last album I wanted to bring in before I just talk about some other notable songs I've been spinning a lot is Photo by Coda the Friend. This is Coda's 2019 album. I used to be a huge fan of Coda the Friend in that 2018-19 era. He makes very lo-fi, calm, but also lyrical hip-hop music. It's always a good vibe, and yeah, I just threw that on while I was writing the paper the other day. It was a good little album for that. But yeah, just in terms of other songs that I've been bumping heavy, these are all songs, every single one of these on this little list next to me is one that I think you guys, if you don't know, should be getting in rotation. And even if you do know, these are all songs that, again, are super heavy in my listenership right now. Starting off with Crew by Gold Link, Brent Faiyaz, and Shy Glizzy. Obviously, Brent's work on that chorus is legendary. This track is just so serene and I challenge someone to point out a flaw with Crew. Even Shy Glizzy's verse, which is kind of it's still amazing. I love this song. I know it was a huge hit. It's not super low-key or anything, but it's one of my favorites right now. We also got Chaining Day by J. Cole off of Born Sinner. This was my most streamed track last month. It's still up there high for me. I love this song. It's just one of J. Cole's best songs ever. He's just rapping about, he's kind of just pointing out the hypocrisy, how so many rappers put in so much work and do so much to get all this money just to spend it all on chains and stuff like that. It's kind of just J. Cole also not just pointing it out, but admitting that himself is subjected to this cycle and that he used to also buy expensive chains and stuff like that. And it's just a, food for thought, but also super great rapping performance from J. Cole. You got tracks like Mood Swing Misery and Florida Thang, which are by Poya off Also, I believe 2019 album, The South Has Got Something to Say. First of all, great album. Love Poya, that's my favorite record by him. But these two songs as well have been some of my favorites recently, especially Florida Thing. Back then you was under my gun. These days you know when I gotta get away from you. A heartbreak on my little Florida Thing. Another big one for me, 5 to 50 by Benny the Butcher. Whew! Oh my God. If we are talking like the hardest gangster rap song of all time, the hardest coke rap song of all time, there's not many records that would contend with 5 to 50. Benny is ravenous on this beat, absolutely unhinged, giving some of the best rapping of his career. This track, of course, being off of The Plugs I Met. Another one for me is Leaked by Lil TJ. This is another song that is definitely because of the weather change, is going to get in my rotation more, because Leaked is an all-time favorite song of mine. It's a classic. It's Lil TJ. I mean, I've said this before, Lil TJ used to be one of my favorite rappers. I'm from Long Island. I'm from New York. So Leaked, when this came out, was like everywhere by me. That song was a moment. I'm happy to have it back in my rotation again. It's a super kind of pop-centric, sing-songy rap song, but Lil TJ's just singing is amazing. We also got Doing My Job by T.I. off of Trap Music. I think this is one of T.I.'s best songs that I ever heard, and I just love the super soulful instrumental and getting this, I don't know if reserved is the right word, but it's a lot more calm demeanor from T.I., where he's rapping about, all this illegal shit he's doing, but he's also saying, like, how could you blame me? I'm just doing my job. I'm just trying to get my money up. Which, is cool to see from T.I. in, like, 2005, I believe, when this came out, because, the rest of that album is all about getting the money up, selling the drugs, doing the deed. And here's one where, he's still talking about that, but he's not as gangsta as doing it. He's giving you the context of why he does it, not to be street or to be hard or because he likes selling drugs. He's doing it because he's trying to get off the streets and get his money up. We also got Life and Times by Static Selecta featuring Joey Badass off of Static's album that dropped earlier this year, Life and Times. This is another great song. One of Joey's best features in a while. It's a super introspective, lighthearted, jazzy cut, and if you're a Joey Badass fan, would definitely recommend this track. And then I got 4 more songs I want to talk about, but I want to give a quick shout out to Spotify for implementing the Smart Shuffle. This feature, although it doesn't work that great and crashes my Spotify often when I try to use it, it does give me a lot of great song recommendations in terms of new songs I've never heard before, new music that just dropped that I haven't listened to, and also just old songs that I used to like that is putting back into my rotation, or old songs that I've never heard before that's also putting me onto. Smart Shuffle 100% puts Spotify over Apple Music, and I got 4 recommendations that I've been bumping a lot that, well, three of them Smart Shuffle showed to me. One of them is just back in my rotation. First off, we got Cyanide by Daniel Caesar. The only Daniel Caesar album I heard was Never Enough, so this track popped up in my Smart Shuffle. Been bumping it a bunch ever since. Dude is an incredible singer. We also had Thug Till It's Over by Cookin' Soul featuring Freddie Gibbs. I mean, this is just an incredible, super, oh my God. It is just a magnificent, soulful, jazzy, vibrant instrumental, and Freddie Gibbs is delivering some of his best rapping of all time on this verse. If you're a Freddie fan, this is definitely a song worth checking out. Thug Till It's Over by Cookin' Soul. We also got 1539 North Calvert by JPEG Mafia. This song I do because I've listened to, I want to say this is off Veteran. I'm not too familiar with all the Peggy album covers to album, but I'm almost positive this is off Veteran. So I've heard this song before, but this just put it back into my rotation. And I love it, honestly. That's why Smart Shuffle is so great, because I never would have revisited this track, but it was thrown in there. I decided to listen to it, and I was like, oh, wow, this is really a great, low-key Peggy song. Super fun. And we'll end it off on a interesting note, talking about Waka by 6ix9ine and A Boogie. This is another song that, of course, I used to know. Everybody knew this song back in the day. Boom, give me some room, I'm about to shoot. Boom. This is a pretty iconic song, especially being from New York. Bumping 6ix9ine is obviously a questionable thing, but it's 2023. This guy used to have bangers, and sometimes when I'm driving down the highway and I want a high-energy banger and this song comes on, no shot I'm skipping it. No fucking shot. This is hype. This is energy. and it's a song I wouldn't have gotten back into if it wasn't for Smart Shuffle. Anyways, though, that's all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to discuss some of my favorite songs, albums, new music that I've been bumping throughout the month of September. Be sure to go down to the comments, let me know what some of your favorite new releases are, what songs are heavy in your rotation right now, and anything else you want to tell me, maybe confess to something terrible down there. But till then, I will see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you guys. Stay safe, y'all. Peace.